Welcome to today's video, where we explore the lives and achievements of some of the greatest minds in history, people who have shaped our understanding of the world and might just have a claim as the smartest to ever live. Join us as we uncover the genius behind their groundbreaking contributions and the legacies they left behind. William James Sidis enrolled at Harvard University at just 11 years old and knew 8 languages before the age of 10. But his incredible story is also a tragic one. Born in New York in 1898 to Ukrainian Jewish parents, Billy Sidis was exceptional right from the start. He had reportedly mastered the alphabet after 6 months and could read the New York Times at just 18 months old. His parents were both academics working in psychology and medicine. They reportedly pushed him to his limit from an early age, which they claimed was the reason for his incredible intellect. Rather than teach Billy, they allowed him to figure things out on his own. For example, they claimed to have left his food in a spoon in front of him until he figured out how to eat himself rather than show him how. They also claimed to read him Greek myths instead of bedtime stories, and that he had no interest in games or toys. Sidis finished elementary school in less than a year and high school in just 6 weeks. His mastery of mathematics was so great that he delivered a lecture on the fourth dimension at Harvard at 11 years old. By this time, however, Sidis' incredible intellect began attracting media attention. He told reporters that he wanted to live a secluded life, a desire that only grew with the newfound media attention. He also told reporters he had no interest in women and wanted to remain celibate. It wasn't long after the media obsession began that Sidis started to struggle. After Harvard, Sidis studied at Rice University and later Harvard Law School, but dropped out just before graduation. He was also teased by fellow students for being awkward and different. His parents had reportedly neglected to teach him many basic life skills. He rarely bathed and didn't know how to shave or tie his shoes. His withdrawal from school angered his mother, a situation that only got worse when he was arrested at a socialist anti-war parade in Boston not long after. He was sentenced to 18 months in jail, but managed to avoid prison time by being held in his parents' sanatorium for a year. After his arrest, Sidis met Martha Foley, the only woman he would ever love. The lonely man reportedly carried a photo of her in his pocket until the day he died. Sidis' child prodigy status and later arrest made him somewhat of a local celebrity, but he struggled to gain fame for intellectual pursuits. He did publish a book in 1925 that discussed the origin of life in the context of thermodynamics. However, the book failed to gain attention and was largely ignored by his peers. Sidis spent the rest of his life avoiding attention. He took menial jobs and kept his intellect hidden from coworkers. He refused to do math or take intellectual jobs. Eventually, Sidis would reportedly become physically or emotionally ill if he was forced to do complex maths. Despite Sidis' attempts to remain out of the spotlight, the world wouldn't leave him alone. In 1937, he sued The New Yorker for publishing a mocking article about his life, portraying him as a failed genius working a menial job. Although he won the case, the damage had already been done. The press never let him forget his past, and the world seemed determined to see him as a cautionary tale of wasted talent. Tragically, Sidis never sought fame, yet it followed him until the end, casting a shadow over what could have been a quiet and fulfilled life. Despite his quiet life, the media continued to mock Sidis because of his failed potential. Newspapers mocked his lowly career in menial positions until he died from a cerebral hemorrhage at age 46. Ultimately, the demands of people around him were too much for Sidis to deal with. Despite his incredible gifts, many believe that Sidis was never able to reach his potential. Marilyn Savant is widely recognized as one of the smartest people in the world, with an IQ recorded at 228, once considered the highest ever recorded. She gained fame in the 1980s when Guinness World Records acknowledged her intellectual prowess. However, her remarkable intelligence wasn't the only thing that made her a household name. Her ability to break down complex ideas and make them accessible to everyone has been her lasting legacy. Born Marilyn Mack in 1946 in St. Louis, Missouri, Savant demonstrated exceptional intelligence from a young age. She was an avid reader early on and showed academic promise. But her parents, both college-educated, took a relaxed approach to nurturing her intellect. Rather than pushing her too hard, they allowed her to explore and develop on her own. By age 10, her IQ was tested and found to be an astounding 228, a score far beyond the average. Despite her early intellectual abilities, Marilyn's life did not initially center around her extraordinary IQ. It wasn't until she was recognized by Guinness World Records that her intellectual gifts were publicly acknowledged. Shortly after, she began writing her famous column, Ask Marilyn, in Parade magazine. There, she answered a wide range of reader-submitted questions, from solving tricky puzzles to tackling complex logical dilemmas. Her clear and methodical approach to these challenges won her fans, and her column soon became a weekly fixture for millions. What set Marilyn apart was not just her ability to solve problems, but her unique gift for making difficult concepts accessible to a broad audience. Her explanations were simple and concise, offering insights into logic, mathematics, and reasoning. She demystified intellectual challenges and made them feel approachable, sparking curiosity in her readers. Her influence grew as she tackled more difficult topics, always stressing the importance of logical thinking and critical reasoning in everyday life. In addition to her column, Savant authored several books that further solidified her intellectual reputation. One of her most well-known works is Brain Building, Exercising Yourself Smarter, where she offers cognitive exercises designed to enhance memory and reasoning skills. Another key book, The Power of Logical Thinking, dives into the principles of clear reasoning and how to apply them in everyday decision-making. Through these works, Marilyn extended her influence beyond her column, encouraging readers to think more clearly and critically. Savant has also been an advocate for understanding the limitations of IQ testing. While her own score is extraordinary, she has often pointed out that intelligence is more than a number. It involves creativity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to adapt and reason in different situations. Today, Marilyn continues to write books, contribute to discussions on intellectual growth, and speak about the importance of reasoning. Though she has kept a low profile in recent years, her impact on the field of logical thinking remains significant. Sir Isaac Newton, born in 1642, is often regarded as one of the most influential scientists in history. His groundbreaking contributions to mathematics, physics, and astronomy laid the foundation for much of modern science. Newton's work not only revolutionized the study of physics, but also established him as a key figure in the scientific revolution. As a child, Newton was known for his curious nature, often disassembling clocks and other mechanical objects to understand how they worked. He was not particularly interested in school until he began studying at the University of Cambridge in 1661, where his passion for mathematics and science blossomed. During a break from Cambridge in 1665, due to the Great Plague, Newton returned to his family's estate in Woolsthorpe, where he began formulating many of his most important ideas. It was during this period of solitude that he developed his laws of motion and theory of universal gravitation, ideas that would shape the future of physics. Newton's Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, published in 1687, is considered one of the most important works in the history of science. In this work, he introduced his three laws of motion, which described the relationship between a body and the forces acting upon it, and his law of universal gravitation, which posited that every mass in the universe attracts every other mass with a force proportional to the distance between them. These principles form the basis of classical mechanics and explain not only the motion of objects on Earth, but also the movements of celestial bodies. Newton's work in optics was equally revolutionary. He discovered that white light is composed of all the colors of the rainbow, a discovery that challenged existing ideas about light and color. Despite his scientific accomplishments, Newton's personality was complex. He was intensely private and known for his fierce competitiveness with fellow scientists, particularly Robert Hooke and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Their disputes over the development of calculus, a field that Newton and Leibniz independently developed, were long-standing and bitter. Newton's impact on science cannot be overstated. His laws of motion and universal gravitation formed the bedrock for centuries of scientific progress. His work laid the groundwork for later scientists like Albert Einstein and continues to influence physics, engineering, and mathematics today. Newton died in 1727 at the age of 84, but his work left an indelible mark on science. Of all of history's great minds, there is one that is most commonly cited as the epitome of genius: Leonardo da Vinci. Born in 1452 in Vinci, Italy, Leonardo is widely regarded as the quintessential Renaissance man, a brilliant polymath whose talents spanned across art, science, engineering, anatomy, and more. Da Vinci's most famous work, the Mona Lisa, remains one of the most celebrated paintings of all time. Known for her enigmatic smile and exquisite detail, the Mona Lisa exemplifies Da Vinci's mastery of human anatomy and light. But Da Vinci was far more than a painter. He was also an inventor, scientist, and visionary. In his notebooks, Leonardo sketched designs for machines far ahead of their time, including prototypes for flying machines, military devices, and even a mechanical knight. While many of these inventions were never built in his lifetime, they demonstrate his incredible foresight and understanding of engineering principles that would later shape modern technology. Leonardo's contributions to science were equally groundbreaking. His studies in anatomy led to detailed drawings of the human body, some of which were so accurate they weren't fully appreciated until centuries later. Despite his many achievements, Leonardo's life was not without challenges. He was often ahead of his time, and many of his ideas were not fully realized or appreciated during his lifetime. However, his relentless pursuit of knowledge, combined with his extraordinary creative talents, has cemented his place as one of the greatest intellectuals to ever live. Today, Leonardo da Vinci's legacy endures not just in art, but in the many fields he touched. His influence can still be felt in everything from modern technology to artistic expression, making him a timeless symbol of genius. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed exploring the incredible lives of history's greatest minds. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to History 101 for more fascinating stories from the past. Also, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments which genius you'd like us to dive into next. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.